Okay, guys. So this is the economics work, national income, accounting student work. I'm going to use DocHub to make my changes to the PDF. Notice it's got your name
Auto
already.
shutdown initiated.
All right. So we want to select the text tool. It says, okay, so it says determine whether or not the value of the good or service in each of the transactions in questions 1 through 14 is included in the calculation of this year's U.S. GDP. If the value of the good or service is not included, explain why not. Also, note when the value of the good or service is included in GNP but not GDP because they're not the same thing. All right, question 1. Micah buys a new bicycle that was produced in Detroit. Okay, so how do we answer this? Well, it's pretty simple. We say that the value of the bike or bicycle, whatever you want to put, it is included in GDP. The reason why is it's made by Micah. Oh, we don't know that it's made by Micah, but we know that it's purchased by Micah, and Micah is in the United States, and the bike is made in Detroit, so it's part of gross domestic product. All right. Kate cashes her Social Security check. All right. So this is not included in GDP because remember, government transfer of payments are not included. Okay. So we would say that the amount of the Social Security check can't spell today, sorry, is not included in GDP. And the reason why is because it is a transfer payment. Now what that means is this: when you guys get a job and you're working, you have to pay Social Security in advance, and that money is put into it's like a trust fund sort of, and then from there interest and other things are accrued on that. So the government is giving you your money back, but at a later date, and that's why it's not part of gross domestic product. Okay. All right, question 3. John buys a used refrigerator that was produced in Cleveland. Well, it's great that it was produced in Cleveland. However, it's used, so that means that it's not included in GDP because it's a used good. So now, when this refrigerator was originally created, whenever that was, that it was part of GDP, but it's a used item, so it doesn't get counted more than once. All right, Melissa buys a new Hyundai car that was produced in South Korea. Okay, well, it was produced in South Korea. It was purchased in the United States, but because it wasn't produced in the United States, it doesn't get included. So again, it is not included in GDP because it was produced outside of the U.S. Probably Korea, but I don't know that for sure. All right, question 5. Brian buys a new Hyundai model that was produced in Alabama. Okay, so it is the same car. Let's assume it's still a Hyundai. The difference, though, is this Hyundai was produced inside the United States, so it is included in GDP because it was produced inside the U.S. That's how you do it. Okay. 6. Elizabeth, an American citizen, owns and operates a coffee shop in Mexico. All right. So this does happen. People, Americans, entrepreneurs, they like buy vacation property or whatever in another country. They move there, they like it, and then they're still U.S. citizens, even if they're living in Canada or England or China or whatever. But if they open up a business, okay, the service that they provide, so the service is not included in GDP. And the reason why is because it is outside of the U.S. However, Okay. Since Elizabeth is an American, she's an American citizen, the value of the services that she does, right, here in Mexico are part of GNP, or are included. Remember, back in the presentation, you really got to know the difference between GDP and GNP. They're quite different. So 6 is it's not a trick question, but if you didn't really do the work very well, the presentation wise, like any notes or just really paying attention to it, you would miss this. All right, 7. Don owns and operates an accounting firm in Minnesota. So that's an easy one. So yes, it's included in GDP. So the value of the service is included in GDP. Okay. Stacy paints her house. All right. So Stacy's doing the work herself. So do we include this? So we have to think about it this way. All right. So here's Stacy. She's going to paint her house. So as long as there are receipts, right, meaning she doesn't pay cash for paint, or she doesn't use or buy used paint, if she's buying new paint, then it will be included. If she uses cash, or she purchases the paint in some manner which doesn't net a receipt, then we would include it. Now, it doesn't say that. It just says Stacy paints her house. So what we would say is that Stacy's painting her house is part, or is included in GDP. Okay. And that's it. Number 9, Goodyear sells auto tires produced in Akron, which is in Ohio, to General Motors for use on General Motors cars. Okay. All right. This one isn't really tricky, but remember, GDP has to be done on finished goods. Okay. So in this case, we don't know that the tires are going to be done. So, or I mean, the cars are going to be done. So we've got the value of the tires. It's not included in GDP. Oop. And the reason why is because the tires, they're an intermediate good. All right. No, if they were a finished good, if you were going to Bell Tire to buy new tires for your car, that would be included in GDP. But because these tires are being used in what will be a finished product, if you think about this, if we included the tires, right, that were sold by Goodyear to GM, and then we included the value, this whole value of the car, which included those tires again, we would be double counting, and we don't want to do that. They don't want to do that in the economy. All right, Diane buys stock in Starbucks. Well, we've already talked about this, and we said that like stocks and financial transactions are not part of the they're not included in GDP. So in this case, we go the value of the stock is not included in GDP. Okay. Oop. Number 11, Travis received cash for repairing a neighbor's lawnmower. Okay, well, the key there, right? It's awesome of Travis to do that, but he received cash. Okay, so the value of the service is not included in GDP because there is no record of the service. All right, Bruce buys a bootlegged DVD from a man on the street. Now, if you don't know what bootleg means, that's great. It means that you're a great person. But it's pirated, stolen, okay? Or they copied off of, maybe they went to the movie theater with a camcorder, that kind of thing. All right, so Bruce buys a bootleg DVD. So is that going to be included? Well, of course not. So the value of the DVD is not included. Because it is an illegal good. Okay. Dawn prepares a new area of her lawn for a vegetable garden. Okay, so she's doing the work herself. So the value here of this service, it is not going to be included.
Powering off.
And the reason why is because it's done in a non-market good. Okay, non-marketplace. What I mean by that is, by non-market is, all right, Dawn's growing something, vegetables. So let's say she's growing corn or tomatoes or whatever. So this is not in a normal market, like in a like a Kroger or Meijer or whatever. So since she's growing these things herself, it's a non-market. She can give these away, she can sell them, but if she's going to sell them, she's going to sell them for cash. So that sort of thing. All right, last one. Jonah buys a new dishwasher for his house. The dishwasher was produced in Texas. So yeah, obviously. So the value of the dishwasher is included in GDP. Okay, that's all I got to do. So there you go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right. Click download, export. Click Google Drive. Export the drive. All right. Now, if you don't get this, like I said, it comes up and it's all screwed up. Okay. Don't just give up. Refresh your page. Close your browser. Try again. Okay. It is there. All right. Remember when we come back to Classroom, if I click on this, nothing's been changed yet. Remember, I got to refresh my page. There's my work. And then I hit the all-important turn in button. Okay? There you go, guys.